So my formal and official titles, I work for The Onion as this director of digital. I've been with The Onion for over almost 5 years now.
Okay.
And I started as politics editor and web editor, and then morphed into a title I created because it had the word director in it, and I like that. It was more powerful. I like power and wielding it over other humans. So I do that kind of as a part-time time commitment right now because I also have published a book, and I'm an author. The book is called How to Be Black, and it came out in February of 2012. So we're in week 7 now of that whole experience. I'm touring a lot to promote the book and the ideas within it. And I'm a public speaker. So I'm a conference whore. Basically, if there's a stage or a dais or amplification system somewhere, I will use it and contort myself to share ideas. And so I talk about 3 things principally. I talk about the future of media and digital storytelling. I talk about blackness and identity related to the book. And I talk about satire and its role in advancing the cause of freedom. I like doing many things. I think I like living in multiple worlds. It helps me see each world, I think, more clearly. And you can look at a place from the outside because you're never fully in it. So there is some risk and limit to that because you're not fully invested, but there's also a great advantage in the circulation of ideas. So I get to hang out with stand-up comics and get that view of the world. And then I can hang out with like internet advertising and digital media people, and that's really, really different. And then you're hanging out with like people who do storytelling and identity and comedy and blackness stuff. And so being able to be a part of all those worlds, being a part of the political cycle and world, it just allows me to judge a little more clearly and adapt and port skills and port perspective. So I love it for that reason. It started, and my whole life has been like this for a while. As a kid, I never fully chose just one thing. Like when I did the college newspaper, I did the photography and I wrote and I had a column. I've always been kind of Winnie the Pooh with a paw in every honey pot because I like the taste of honey. It's delicious. Honey, eat it. The Onion was the first platform that I could be a part of that really tapped into multiple interests. You know, even I had a very corporate job before that in Boston. I was a consultant. I was a strategy consultant.
Okay.
I consulted to Verizon and private equity companies and did the whole PowerPoint as day job live. And I was pursuing comedy at night as a whole separate life.
Right.
And I was doing the political blogging as a whole separate life. So with The Onion, I was able to integrate a lot of my interests. I could be technical and digital and plan digital strategy. I could be funny and comedic, and I could also pursue some of my political interests, you know, through the comedy that we were doing there. And that really allowed me to grow and just create my own category. And people say, what do you do? I just do me. Like being on stage and telling a story is probably the rawest, most core thing that I love to do. So whether I'm telling that story at a conference, or if I'm telling that story through a Twitter character I've created, or if I'm telling that story through a book that I've written, it still comes back to telling stories and connecting with people.